everybody. Welcome to Abbey Research Reads. My name is Dr. Kristen Donnelly, and I am coming to you today with a book in translation that my guess is that you haven't heard of it. Because when I was looking for books about Iraq that were not about the war or were not written by Americans, let me tell you what a needle in a haystack this felt like. So I wanted to read something written by somebody who isn't American. I was open to, Portuguese, like whatever. I just wanted not Americans, and it took a long time to get there. But what I found is this incredible book written by Dunya Mikhail, who I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She is an acclaimed poet and journalist. This book was written in 2018. It was translated into English by Max Weiss, and we're going to have links in the show notes to this. What it tells is the story of the 2014 ISIS invasion into the northern part of Iraq, where the Yazidis and a lot of the Christians lived. You may have heard of the particular way that ISIS behaved in that raid. There was a lot of discussion about Christian persecution, which is definitely a problem in Iraq. Increasingly so as ISIS continues to gain more and more traction. I'm looking at my notes, apologies for the flipping here. There is just a really significant issue here. So where do I even start? So first of all, as you read this book, which I think everyone should, it is just stories. And the Beekeeper refers to a man who has taken it upon himself to rescue women from the clutches of ISIS. Now, they're referred to in the book as Daesh. So as you're reading, but essentially what happened and what my understanding still happens from the research that I have been doing is that they kidnap women. They pay for these women to then marry jihadists as rewards. And then the women are raped because the jihadist touching them, sleeping with them, whatever, will purify the women in order to get them into whatever version of the afterlife these people believe in. They believe that raping an infidel will cleanse them. The Daesh fighters do. In the meantime, they force children to build rockets. All of this is terrible. Do I have to even say that? The number of times in this book that somebody just went, and then I was raped for 5 months. And I was like, that's a sentence to me and a lifetime to somebody else. How do I even possibly wrap my brain around this? And I don't actually know the answer. This is a book that's really important to bear witness. What kept going through my head was that she's a Iraqi Sherazada. She has 1,000 tales. And we need to sit with them. We need to know them. It got overwhelming. I can't lie. I would recommend breaks with this one because the last thing you want to do is numb yourself to the stories of these women and these children and this beekeeper who saves them, who rewrote his life to rescue women. I should also say that Yazidi Iraqis, there are Yazidi Christians, but Yazidi is a very specific religious pot that is really cool, very mysterious to the outside world because it doesn't necessarily connect to a lot of other monotheistic or it doesn't connect to any really Abrahamic religion. And I've done as much reading as I can, not speaking either Arabic or Persian. And it seems that it is both a religion and a cultural ethnic group. So there are people that are Yazidi and do Yazidi faith and practice Yazidi faith. And then there are others that are ethnically Yazidi and practice other faiths. And that's kind of where some of this Christian overlaps kind of came and what that looked like. I am obviously not an expert. So if somebody is, please educate me. I have tried so hard to find resources on all of this. The problem is that a lot of the writing about the arrests of Christians and things like that in Iraq is written by pearl-clutching Americans And I just want to know what's going on. I don't need the propaganda, so I'm struggling. I want to also thank Max Weiss for translating this, because otherwise we would have never encountered this book. This week at Abbey Research is Iraq Week, which means we're spending it in our Colonizers World Tour. We're watching a movie about it. We're talking a lot about it. And I don't know when you're watching this, but as we're recording all of these things, Vladimir Putin very recently invaded Ukraine. And Dr. Aaron and I are both aware of the parallels between that conflict and many conflicts the United States has been a part of in this part of the world, especially with Iraq. We're holding that space and trying to work our way through it. We're trying very hard to decolonize our understanding of the world. And I think this book is a great place if you're looking to do the same thing too. It's not expensive. It's a meditative read, again, because I don't want you to numb yourself to any of the truths in this. Essentially, if we boil everything down, terrible, damaging, toxic, wrong, whatever words you want to put on it, theology can be really dangerous. It absolutely can, and I'm the first person to say that. I know so many Muslims who cannot find Allah in what ISIS teaches, in the same way that I cannot find God or Jesus in what the KKK teaches. But the ISIS soldiers aren't doing this for no reason. And in a way, the most important empathy exercise in this book is to think about the boys that were recruited into this life. The children who were told that this was the best way to receive freedom. What was their life like to make the choice to live like this? The easy thing with this book is to make them all monsters. And ISIS as a movement is monstrous, but it has humans in it. It's a hard one. It's a real hard one. How do we condemn evil in a movement and acknowledge the humanity of the people within the movement? By having the hard conversations is our best guess. And we're certainly going to keep doing that around here. And we're going to hold space for that this week and all weeks at Abbey Research. Thanks so much for watching. I deeply recommend The Beekeeper by Dunya. I apologize. I could not find an audio of the name. Dunya Mikhail, translated by Max Weiss. This book is worth your time. Thanks.